welcome to Dorneypark. First time ever in this park. This Talon goes off behind me. There's two excellent, or so I've heard, B&Ms here. In addition to a wood coaster and a couple of other credits, including some junior credits. 7 coasters in total. But very looking forward to it. This is a park that used to have Hercules in it, a rather notorious wood coaster from back in the day. Once, I believe, the tallest ever for a brief period of time. So there's a lot of history to this place. We're going to try to discover as much as I can in the next couple of hours that I'm here. It's a Wednesday afternoon, so as you can see behind me, there's barely anyone here, so I should be able to roll off those credits really quick, which I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to give you a full complement of Dorneypark. And if you're familiar with my home park, Wonderland, well, a lot of this stuff will be familiar anyway, I think, because, yeah, as you can see, coasters behind us, that is also located in Wonderland. There's a lot of similarities from the Cedar Fair improvements over the years, as well as, say, the Paramount improvements over the years before that in this particular park. Anyhow, let's not mess about and get ourselves onto some rides here at Dorneypark. People talk about Dorneypark. There's a lot of talk about how they have 2 B&Ms that don't get enough respect. Well, I'm gonna finally get to try them today. Very excited for that. And the first one here is gonna be Hydra, the Revenge. And my first ever JoJo roll. Right out of a station. Or Gojo. I don't even know what it's called. Here's Hydra the Revenge. So Hydra the Revenge is out of the way. A nice B&M floorless with a unique element to start it out. I found that the front, and it's been a common thing lately, that the front seat ride was rather rough. Just from a mechanics perspective. Like the train just felt a little bit rougher in the front. And then the back seat, or second row from the back, because I basically just got on the same train and then rewrote it. Yeah, it was much smoother, much more enjoyable, and obviously you have a lot more speed to carry you through the course and to enjoy the full force of what the ride's about. Pretty decent, nothing really to sing praises about. Wasn't as good as, say, Dominator at King's Dominion from a couple of months back that I rode just recently, which is definitely one of the higher tier floorless coasters that I've ridden. But it's done, unique, very nice landscape or terrain coaster for a B&M, which is kind of unusual. Hydra, out of the way, pretty decent ride. Now let's get on to the rest of the park. Well, we're definitely back at Cedar Flags because, yeah, the pop music in the background is very obvious after being at 3 parks where that wasn't really happening so much. I miss themed music at amusement parks, including my home park. If you're listening, Cedar Fair, why don't you buy the rights back to all your original music from back in the 80s and just put that back in. Alright, as you may know, I love my log flumes, and they got a nice little one over here that I'm going to check out. I believe I am. Very fascinating sort of layout to this park, as it's sort of on a hillside, so you have like the main section that you enter at the top. In fact, this is not the way to get to this flume. Yeah, I'm checking things out for the first time, obviously, so it takes some time. But as far as this flume is concerned, the station's down here, but it actually goes up over this hill, leading to Hydra, the Revenge. So it's kind of a unique layout. Yeah, definitely cool. All right, we're gonna try to get on this log flume, and then we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we got the Thunder Creek Mountain done. I actually got 2 rides in. As he asked me, I was like, do you want to go again? I was like, sure, why not? There's nobody on the ride, and maybe people will come over and ride the ride. Actually, a couple have come over since I decided to hop on. There's live animals on this log flume. Well, there's some ducks sitting on the actual like chute area, or just on the concrete, and they're like really like actually next to the boat. You could like pet them while you went past, and they were there both trips, so nobody scared them off. Not that I'm sure that's a regular thing. Very unique lift hill and drop, as you kind of seen there, as it is the exact same gradient going up as it is going down, which makes for a very long and protracted drop. When you're coming down, anticipating the splash, you got like a couple of seconds to get ready while you're actually dropping. So it's very actually unique, and I enjoyed it. The top is where the weaving section of the log flume is. It's really grown in nicely into this area, and just, you know, makes me all that more stubborn and bitter about the fact that another park in this chain has not had a log flume for decades now, being my home park, of course. Anyhow, got some rides to get on behind me, including Demon Drop, as you might have caught there. This ride is getting to be pretty popular on the internet, or this style of Intamin drop tower, because I guess it's been long enough for people to forget about them. But I've been on the one at Cedar Point when it was still there, and I've been on one at Nagashima Spa Land as well. So this will be my 3rd Intamin drop tower. They're excellent rides. Come along for my review and such before we get on to other bigger rides further into the park. Just got off of Thunderhawk, classic 1929 Woody that exists almost as long as this park has. Quite impressive for the age of the ride. I enjoyed the layout of that sort of figure 8 in the back half of the ride. Not that long though, and I think that some reprofiling was done after this first drop, because you have that rather unusual long sort of straightaway without any airtime hills. I think that there used to be a big airtime hill there that they got rid of. But yeah, for the rest of it, running pretty smooth. I think I might see what people were talking about yesterday with the other, or the Wildcat that I rode at Hershey, and how rough it was, because a backseat ride on this ride, pretty smooth, no real issues. Standard fare for a Woody, and a nice classic to boot. Interesting color scheme as well to this ride. Great PTC train. Definitely love the front of it. It's probably one of the sexiest looking wood coaster trains I've seen. All right, we're gonna move on. Got some other coasters to do. Got off a ride of Possessed here behind me. These rides, these Intamin launched inverts, they're going to be a rarity soon enough, so it's nice to get another one in and get it on a credit list. I have been on Wicked Twister. The only other one I've been on is, I believe it's called X2. It's been so long at Six Flags Great America. Maybe not as impressive. This one's not as impressive as that for some reason. I've just found the launch. There was like a weird hiccup on the launch initially coming out of the station that I noticed. But that drop off of the spire is something else in the back. Like, it's so high. And really takes you for a nice short little trip. That, you know, is kind of like marginally re-rideable. But yeah, good nonetheless. At the same time, I gotta do a front seat ride that, you know, get the full perspective of it, because, you know, when you do the spin around the spire, you know, you don't get that effect unless you're actually in the front seat. So, yeah, I'll probably go on it again, just to get it out of the way and say that I did it, because it'd probably not be here, say, in a couple of years' time. Perfect for this park. I will say though, it's getting on to a little over an hour and a half that I've been in the park. I only have Talon left to ride, so very manageable to get, say, this park in half a day, especially when it's as slow as it is today. Anyhow, we're gonna carry on, get that final credit in. I still have the Wild Mouse to do as well, which is gonna take probably the most amount of time, as the queue is pretty slow. So, all right, let's carry on here through Dorneypark. finished a ride on Steel Force. Actually, I just finished 4 rides on Steel Force. 2-train operation for the most part on all the rides in the park, all the coasters at least, with the exception of Thunderhawk just behind me here. Now, an excellent little ride. Very smooth Morgan, to be honest. I was actually most impressed with how smooth the ride is. Really does feel like Steel Dragon 2000's little older brother, if that makes any sense, since this ride is older than Steel Dragon 2000, but still has that sort of feel, color scheme, very similar and reminiscent of that. With touches of Magnum XL200 in there too. Not the same manufacturer, I know, but you can't deny the fact that Morgan kind of copied what Aero was doing, and I guess made it a little bit more affordable and accessible to parks such as this. Excellent ride, I'd say. I was definitely, you know, with these 200-foot roller coasters, it gets to the point where you're not really sure how to differentiate between any of them because they're all kind of similar sensations. I do like this sort of turnaround at the end, though, as you're coming back to the station, as you take it with a high amount of speed. And yeah, it's really kind of cool. But the best part about this ride, without question, is the helix at the center portion of the ride. Lots of force that you get going into that sort of lower portion of the helix. I will say it's excellent, very reminiscent of Steel Dragon 2000. 205-foot hill. Excellent sort of, the drop is kind of a little bit, this is a weird wonky little coaster because the drop, it kind of goes down on a shallow gradient and then gets steeper as you get into the middle portion of, say, the actual first drop. The other drops are great and there's nothing really wrong with them, and lots of sort of ejector airtime in the second half. Wasn't super fast, but didn't really notice any trims as well, other than the mid-course trim that's obvious right at the center of the ride. But yeah, definitely that helix is the highlight for me. Yeah, you just, I don't know, it's smooth. Gives you a fair amount of force when you get low to the lake there, or that small little pond on the other side where I believe Hercules was originally the other king of height of this park. Hercules was originally located. Alright, that's Steel Force. With that questionable logo that reminds me of Steel Phantom out of the way. Let's carry on for the rest of our day. Fascinated by the design of this train that I noticed in the park, Zephyr Railroad. So we're gonna go on it, get a little unique perspective. It's also gas powered, as you can hear it rattling, engine rattling in the background here.
One of our oldest, most historic rides here at Dorneypark in Walbury Kingdom. The Zephyr was manufactured at Dorneypark in 1935.
sections are kind of scattered about, and you can kind of see that they're either really setting this up for a big haunt. But you can kind of see over here, most of the haunted houses have been left intact over time. These are some older buildings for Dorney, older pavilion buildings. Missed the announcement at the start here, but the Zephyr Railroad machine model is actually modeled after a passenger train from 1935. Lots of room for expansion on this side of the park as well. Quite bucolic river setting here. So we're just going to go along this river for quite some time until we get back to the station. I'm imagining that originally a lot of the midway was located in this area of the park, and then they gradually started moving the theme park, amusement park, up the hill.
The station. Once again, remain seated until the train comes to a fully completed stop. At that time, I will be around to open your doors. Gather all your belongings and watch your head and step as you're exceeding. Thank you for riding the Zephyr and enjoy your stay here at Dorneypark.
Got on Demon Drop as the segue before. I didn't actually get on it, but now I just did Dominator and I did Demon Drop in a row, so both towers, or drop towers, back to back. There actually is two features for Dominator. It shoots you up or it shoots you down. I always generally try to do the shoot down as I find it a little bit more terrifying. Also just need to sum up this section of the park on the bottom, where it's like a little bit more of the old school Dorneypark. I definitely like a lot more than, say, the top, which has a little bit more of a corporate Cedar Fair, Paramount Parks feel. But we're going back up there now because we got to get Talon done. Looking for Talon, Fun Zone Arcade without anything happening. Looking for Talon. Okay, 2 rides on Talon done, and really lived up to expectation. One of my favorite inverts now. So much better than, say, yesterday's Great Bear incident, where I was just kind of flabbergasted at how that invert got such a high rating. Nice, tight, compact layout, lots of force and speed throughout. Excellently built into the terrain, so you really have no idea what's coming next unless you've studied the course of the track beforehand. Yeah, fantastic ride. Can't say enough about it. Was really a big fan, and unfortunately that's it. I gotta leave the park now, so yeah, I'm on my way to another park in central Pennsylvania, so join me for that vlog. You probably can figure out where it is. About the same amount of time there as I did here, about 3.5 hours. But I do have to get on my way. Otherwise, yeah, I won't be able to get some of those legendary credits in that park has. Great day here at Dorney. Really good operations. Not super enthusiastic, but very efficient. Definitely enjoyed the fact that even on a slower day like today, they had the full train service on pretty much every big ride that you could imagine. Also, even with the kids being in school and all that kind of stuff, they still kept all the rides open for that section of the park. So if you have your family and you want to come out, enjoy a nice quiet day here at Dorney, why not do that on a Wednesday? All right, unfortunately I gotta go. It was a great time. Thanks for watching, guys. Definitely a great little sum up of the park. Probably chose the right day to come. Again, thanks for watching, and always enjoy.